Is this working? See, no one's in the chat yet. Silent observers in the background for now. Everybody do the each one teach one, hit the like button so you get the rest of the people in here. I don't know if y'all gonna respond or not. All right, wise you is in the building. You know what I'm saying? Today, unfortunately, we're gonna be going a little bit short. The guy, Supreme Justice, you know what I'm saying, my very good brother that I grew up with, his old earth returned to the essence, you know what I mean? Very big shout out to her, somebody that I've also known, you know what I'm saying, throughout these decades. So yeah, I'm gonna go check the guy in a little while. In the meantime, though, we're gonna do what we do, and first of all, we wait until VC Realm comes in. I'm sure he's all in his feelings right now about the Knicks. He's all in his feelings right now about the success of the Knicks. I'm sure a lot of you are in your feelings about the Knicks. We don't care. You know what I'm saying? But we got Divine Understanding, Universal 793rd, Peace City God, Knowledge of Law 120 Eye Teeth. You know what I'm saying? So what's going on out there? Did we get, hold on, let me send this link to Divine God and Jason to see if perhaps let me see if I can find Jason. We could get the brothers in here that's from Minnesota. And perhaps they can give us some insight into what's going on out there on the streets of Minneapolis. Reality of or do we have any updates? Do any of the brothers that's in here right now have an update? Just getting a few more alerts out here. Dr. Vinci. So, since we're going to be ending up a little early. Might as well get fly phrase from Providence Plantations. So we I guess we should get right down to business, right? On becoming a master. So first of all, let's start off with you know, today is M, master, right? Do we have how do we see that in the room? What is a master? See, because in order to become a master, you got to know what it is to be a master. Anyone? Anyone? Bueller? We got the heavy hitters in here. We got the heavy hitters in here right now. So I'm sure we should be able to get some pretty good definitions for what is a master. And of course, master is one of those words that when we speak in terms of definitions, right? We have, master has different, I'm not sure what you call them, the literary categories in terms of, a master is a noun, you know what I'm saying? To master, right, is a verb. You know what I'm saying? So it's a term that we got a lot of different ways that we can draw it up. But no matter which way you draw it up, there's certain elements, right, of master that is common. So, to get into the topic of today's live, becoming a master, we are defining, we're giving our understandings right now on what a master is. Our phrase from the Providence Plantations said, a master is someone who completes or dominates a given aspect of life. Atif said, master is to show forth your understanding through control. 793 said, the sole controller of one's destiny, reality, and surroundings, a teacher, a leader. Now, July 120 said, a master is one who has conquered properly and also able to teach that. Dr. Vinci said, to ultimately control something or someone decisively and with the intent for self-benefit. Now, see, Dr. Vinci just brought up another meaning, right, for masters that a lot of times we run through it. And that's, I like what you did right there. You didn't outright do it, but remember, a master is also the one in control of the slave. Now that could be as simple, right, as when you set up a computer, right? One computer is the administrator and the other is just a part of the network. So it doesn't necessarily have to be negative. But yeah, that was Not many other people think of that. So there's one who displays one's ability in a certain field or way of life. SW. Now listen, I want to go with that right there. Not that everybody's answers, right, wasn't excellent, but I want to go with that right there. Because it's something very important that 793 said right there. He said, a master is one who displays, right, his or her ability in a certain field or way of life. Now, here's a big question, right? See, because we working backwards now. So now we got some definitions of what a master is, right? And we got a particular definition that I'm gonna use right now to, show you a certain understanding that I've seen. Now, how you display it. It says one who displays one's ability in a certain field or way of life. See, that was very important what you put there also when you said in a certain field or way of life. See, because, Tiger Woods is a master at golf. That don't mean he's a master at tennis or football or any of those other things. Now, SW said something very important right here. He said, wisdom is the bridge. It's very important. Let's get to this, right? Of how does one display, right, their ability in whichever endeavor that they partake in. Divine understanding said the master is one who shows proficiency within oneself. Exactly. But how you show it, how you display it. Wise ruler. So the master is one who has become great at learning something. See, we going in that direction too, but we're not quite there yet. See, like I said, we're dealing with becoming a master, right? And so we starting out with what a master is. And then we working step by step, right? So that we can see where's the steps that we have to go to prove it. So a master is one who shows his ability. How does one show their ability? Seven third said through one's actions, ways, communication, and experience. Wise ruler said one becomes a master by being a great learner. You getting me? But see, when you say we got the original Mr. 120 in here. 793 said through one's ways and actions. See, in order to show you've mastered the science, right, you got to be able to build with it. You got to be able to do something. You got to be able to show us. Don't tell us. Meaning, right now, right, we go to medical school, right? There's people in there tell you everything about brain surgery. You see, if you ain't operate on no heads yet, I ain't let you operate on my head. There's a whole lot of things people can tell you all about. Should somebody say, listen, man, I can build a house. All right. Now, for you to show me that you a master, right? A master carpenter, a master plumber, a master electrician, you got to go in there and do some carpentry. You got to do some plumbing. You got to do some electricity. These are the real steps and stages. See, that's why, man, the longer you have the knowledge, right, the more people you're going to know that talk a very good game. You see, that you didn't put that in the activation. See, that's the difference between the master and the observer. See, because you got a lot of observers, they got a whole lot of knowledge from the sidelines. They got a whole lot of talking. You see, the word never becomes flesh with them. And so, no, they're not a master. You're someone who's very smart, but you never actually put those steps and stages into activation. So now the best you can be, so you can't be a master. You know what you can do? You can be a coach. You go around and tell everybody else what they should have did and what they should be doing, but you can't do it. See, you just in the person. You're not a lot. You just the messenger. You're a step in a stage that the energy moved kinetically through you, but you wasn't a part of the kinetic energy. You understand what I'm saying? You're not the electricity, you the wire. So see, that's why, in the simplest form, right? We all supposed to learn this. You know what I'm saying? The first place we start to learn this, right, is with the lessons. Where we don't just know them. We don't just talk about them. We don't walk around with them in our pocket. We master them. See, we don't just speak on them. We look in them for the keys and the clues, right, of how mathematical formulations go together. For the formulas, the blueprints, and how to be successful and which things to stay away from. And see, now let's get to the stage of the brother who said, pardon me for not recalling your name, but I'm on a rant right now. We just let me know who you are when I get back on the chat. We get back to the stage where the brother was saying is that now the first step now means what is the degree of studying you doing? What is the degree of studying that you're doing? See, did you really learn how to be a master? Did you even have the knowledge to apply? Or was you just a wire? And you was not really the electricity. You was the paperclip. You was not the magnet. And see, that's what happens. I'm telling you, beware of being that person. Because see, let me ask y'all something about the 5%. Here's a question. Here's a question. See, besides the part, right, where it says that you got to live it out. right? You do not believe it teaches it 10%, right? And you know who the true and living God is, and you teach who the true and living God is, right? You actually got to go out there. Now, listen, here's the thing. In that degree, right? SW, some of the older brothers, 793rd, y'all understand this person I'm about to talk about. What about the person who, do you know anybody, right? SW, that fell victim, right? But they still fit the description in the 16th degree in the 140. What about you, 793rd? VC Realm. All I got to tell you from Madison Square Garden is read them and weep. I know you came in late today because you was in your feelings. Using your feelings about the Knicks, but you know that's between you and the good Lord. Yeah, see, 793rd and SW will tell you that is you got people that came into this knowledge, God, and taught a whole bunch of people. But you see them walking up and down the street, and they didn't master the science, God. They knew about it, but they wasn't the electricity, they was the wire. See, the master, man, listen, the master is a practitioner, man. That's how you got to be a master, man. See, a master is not just the person who can analyze it. You can show your mastery. Look, if you can analyze it, you show me your master of analysis in academia. You see, what is it that you learn how to do? Are you just learning all this academia? You learning all these concepts of mathematics, but you really don't know what they apply to? Like when you run into another person, right? Do you know how to be God around that person? I'm talking about a person who's not the 5%. See, I've been there, I've been new too. We see amongst the 5%, it's easy to be the 5%. Just keep your mouth shut and do what the brothers are doing. But now, what happens when you get presented with a situation? It don't have to be a negative situation. It could be the black woman you deal with. Now, how do you be God? How do you express to her this stuff who you saying who you are? See, now you're putting this in a real activation. See what I'm saying? Because even though, don't get me wrong, that's talking, right? But it's still something that you're going to live out because you put in seeds, right? You planting seeds, right? That this is going to affect your babies. Like if you don't teach her dietary law, then what do you think your seeds is going to eat? Like why do you think our moms made soul food for us? Because they moms made soul food for them. That's what they knew how to make. If they was Chinese, they would have made us Chinese food. See, when you get in these different situations, right, where now you got to stand perpendicular, right? Do you know how to do that? Or was you just a talker? See, this is the real signs. See, that's why, man, look, see, the understanding, right? This is the knowledge, understanding degree, right? So the understanding we know is being a master. And like the guy said, displaying and showing your mastery. You know, the understanding is when you see Michael Jordan flying through the air, doing his, you know, pumps and spins and all of that. You understand what I'm saying? Now the knowledge, right? These are the things, like the other brother said, right? That you got to learn in order to be a master. Now, what's the two things there that you don't see? Now we going into something. This is my understanding right here. But let me draw something up for you. See, what's the things you don't see? See, if you got knowledge and understanding, you don't see the wisdom. See, because that's what you got to do. See, when you see a formula, right? And you see how it adds up, when you see a formula that say 2 plus X equals 4. See, the X is the part that you got to figure out. So if you see the 1 and the 3, right? Then that means that the 2 got to come from you. And when you see the 1 and the 3, right? We also know that that borns what? Culture of freedom, which is also what has to come from you. You have to actually live those things out to be a master of them. See, just like when you see 120 lessons, you see the knowledge, you see the wisdom, and then you see the cipher. So that means that all those other elements, right, from 3 all the way to 9, that's what you got to do. And see if you don't do it, right? There's a degree for that too. Does anybody know the degree, right? Uh, Tells you about the people, right, who can't activate those parts that you got to add on. We know something has to be done, right? You know, there's a job here, right? But the person don't realize, right? Or, you know, they just don't have the fire in them to do the parts that they're supposed to do, right? Where's the degree that those people fall into? Anyone? Anyone? Bueller? See, all those people is in the 10th degree. See, those are the people that's setting up home, waiting for a mysterious God to come and do it. They're the wires, God. You know, Calm Islamly and Divine Understanding, Calm Islamly, SW, that's very clear too. That the knowledge born degree also applies to them. And if you notice, knowledge born borns what? You see how this thing works? You see how this thing works? And so, uh, coming back to the title now, bringing it a little, full circle, right? This is what we're talking about becoming a master, right? Now, in the first thing, right? The first stepping stage, somebody said this earlier on when we was dealing with the definitions, right? Somebody was mentioning in terms of oneself. So this is the first thing you understand that we have to master. Because listen, this is going to sound a little bit ridiculous to some of y'all, especially if you haven't been introduced to this knowledge. This might sound a little bit ridiculous, but let me tell you something. You got to learn how to be you. You got to learn how to master your own self in many ways, more than one. You gotta listen, you gotta learn how to walk and talk. You gotta learn how to master that. You gotta learn how to master, you already got the legs, but you got to master them. How do you master them? You got to walk. There's no other way to learn how to walk that I've seen. You see, it's also mentally and emotionally and morally and principally and all these different things. Like, see, right now, you might like to draw pictures. You might like to draw. You might be an artist. But you got to be introduced to that. And then you got to deal with the growth and development of your skill so that you can master it. See, emotionally, you don't, when you 5 years old, you just realize, this person took my marble, man. I got to handle my business. But see, as you get older, right, you learn about yourself that, yeah, see, you got a quick temper. You overreact. So now you got to learn how to have that degree of self-discipline and self-control, what they call self-mastery. This is the first stepping stage that we got to deal with. You gotta master self. We can see now we get into the other definition, what the brother was saying, when you're dealing with control of a situation. Not necessarily positive or negative, but just to say that, listen, when you, like I said, if you go to a doctor, if you send your child to a school, right? You send your child to school every morning, right? I'm pretty sure most of us expect the people at the school to have been to college, to have degrees and expertise in the things that they teach it. Now, that's not what happens. And that's one of the reasons schools messed up. But I'm just saying, if it really, you understand what I'm saying? If a person is going to, submit, when we said submit is of students to said lesson number one, all right, whoever wrote said lesson number one need to know what the fuck he talking about. And the best way for me to know that he know what the fuck he talking about is for him to show me his mastery of it. Hold on for a second, yeah. All right, yes, a new Shaquem came in. Right. I teach. This is what I'm talking about. See, now y'all see what I'm saying. I, self, Lord, and Master. See? Because once you master self, right, you're not going to be out there looking for the mystery God to do what you're supposed to do because you've already done it in order to become a master. And now that you know what needs to be done and you can do it, now you can deal with the science of culture, right? Which is, you know, a conduit, right, to transfer ideas and knowledge and wisdom over time and space. By that, what I mean is, one generation learns something and they able to pass it on to the next generation, or they able to write it in books. You understand what I'm saying? And have that book to all different people that speak that same language, that's of that same culture, right? Can draw it up and be able to use that knowledge. And so these is the sciences, right? These is the sciences that bring things back, right? From, this is what I'm saying. So this is the difference between, see, we went through this some time ago. Right? Where, see, I don't say that I'm God by nature. See, because first of all, if you God by something else, then that's God. See, ask yourself a question. Did nature created you or did you create nature? See, I was under the impression that nature, right, is just a pattern, a visible pattern, right, of how the original man goes about making knowledge go to born. That's how it naturally happens. You see, if something else is making you God, then how are you God? You said you first. That thing's got to be first. See, the black man's nature is to be God. There's a difference between the science of, activation and the science of, you go different places and everybody here's got a righteous name, but they don't know no lessons. And if I come around you and you keep your mouth shut, there's nothing about you that would make me wonder if you're the 5%. Like, man, you can't just tell with somebody, but if you're watching a person move around, like, yo, man, this cat right here, he got some kind of wisdom. I don't know if he got the knowledge, but he doing. And see, these is the people, right? That when people can detect that mastery in you, right? These is the people that become the leaders. See, that's one of the main leadership qualifications. I mean, let's cut to the chase. No one wants to follow a loser. Yeah, right there, he just hit me. So let's go ahead and open this up. We're gonna go ahead and open up the we're gonna go ahead and open up the the what's this here? The original Mr. 120 said, today's degree also says that if you don't master yourself, someone else will master you. And but is a word often used to make excuses for one's own shortcomings. Indeed. Indeed. See, that's the signs, that we've been through before. When in terms of, if you don't have your own determined idea, there's other people out there that have determined ideas that they need soldiers for. Like a dude, look, I want to start a gang. I need bodies. I want to start a drug organization. I need sellers. I need people to be out there on the corner. You see, you easily get caught up with them and then end up serving their penalty. But the way you put it is supreme. FDJ Beach. Hold on, let me get this link. Let me go ahead and throw the link in there because we're gonna have to cut this one shortly. Serious mathematics came in. We got started a little bit slowly today, for the new people that came in. The title of the live, of course, is Becoming a Master. And so we actually trace the steps and stages back. You know what I mean? From what is a master, right? To how does one demonstrate mastery, to how does one gain the knowledge to become a master, and how one has to go about doing that. And then we went into the science of, the first thing that we have to master is self. And that, the same way we have to learn how to master any other skill, whether it's, writing your name, playing basketball, whatever it is. You got to learn the proper steps of what to do and what not to do, right? And, let's not leave that out too. Because see, positive elevation always corrects errors is also a part of mastery. Of having made a mistake, right? A sufficient number of times for you to learn never to do that again. See, some people don't master things until, multiple instances of falling victim to it. And we went into the discussion of the same way a person has to learn how to be a master practitioner, right, of any skill, a person also has to become a master practitioner, right, of being themselves. You see, you think back when you 10, 11 people introducing you to different things, like, nah, I already like that. You know what I'm saying? When I was little, I remember, the dudes used to play racquetball. And they used to be dumb nice at it. And I used to like to watch it, but it wasn't really that fun for me to play like that. See, all these different things, whatever it is that you're going to do, that you're going to grow into, things that you might have lost your temper to 10 years ago. You understand what I'm saying? Or things that you might have had a weakness, you understand what I'm saying, that was detrimental to you for something that was bad for you. You understand what I'm saying? And you had to learn that. That yo, you know something? I can't be fucking with that. Or this person here, yeah, stay away from this motherfucker. These things over here, what I'm doing, yeah, I'm gonna have to stop doing those. Let me pick up something. See, you got to actually learn that. And see, because of the state of the black family, right? We don't have that real network that's supposed to introduce us to that. You see what I'm saying? Like we get into music, that's we learn that in the street now. That you see other dudes out there and they rhyming and beating on the mailbox. It's not like, your parents say, you know what, let me introduce you. Let me give you some guitar lessons, man. See how if that's something that you pick up, that you become highly skilled at, right? And maybe it'll add up to something for you when you get older. No, we got to go through the trials and tribulations, right? We got to learn, you know, how to see with all three eyes. We got to learn that, guy. We got to master that. To be a master of self, meaning you see somebody doing something. And on face value, with the two naked eyes, this looks like the thing to do. Shit, you getting all that money. How you do that? how you get involved with this, man? How you got those? Where you got those from? See, now, once you become a master, right, of yourself and then your surroundings and the situations and circumstances that you can get yourself in, right? Now you like, man, look here, man, take that shit away from me, man. I don't know what you're doing over there, but don't do it over here. See, all these things from when you used to pee in a diaper, right? Till you learn how to pee in the toilet, till you used to, procrastinate too much, to now you remain focused, is all different elements of mastery that you're dealing with self. Those are two, of the main, the focus, the discipline, all of these is things that you got to develop. Now, like I said, your family might be intact like that, right? To where they do what they're supposed to do. They already instill you with the discipline before you realize, okay, that's all right. Now I know how to use this thing. They might introduce you to certain literature or something with certain topics. So when you go outside, you know a little bit more what's going on than everyone else who's not, their family is not together like that, you know, or their family might be together, but those people don't have the mastery. And so now when the child to tell, oh, y'all ain't got the mastery. Now I go out here and with the two naked eyes, I see this guy with all the jewelry on. He looked like he got this shit mastered. And then once you're able to do that, you're able to show the mastery, right? And people is able to look and clearly see the demonstration. See, because I mean, and that's with everything in life. What good is being a master if you don't have anything mastered? Like you're not out here activating any of this mastery. See, that's like being how they say all dressed up and nowhere to go. And now, once people see the mastery in you, they see these elements, this discipline, the focus, the knowledge, the action. Now you got one of your building blocks for leadership. Now you're somebody, because you've demonstrated this mastery, you're not the leader because you're giving orders. You're the leader because people see that, yo, I want to do the shit you're doing because I see how beneficial it was for you. I want to do it for me. Go ahead, lay out the steps and stages that I need to get right there, and I'm going to do them. So for the new people that came in the room, as a little rundown and recap, of what was discussed so far on the live for the new people that's coming in. You know what I'm saying? Do we have any questions? Any questions about what we laid down today? What is vegan jerk chicken? BC Round said he's about to eat this vegan jerk chicken. That's like a misnomer. Vegan and chicken. Serious mathematics. But do you have any questions before we wrap up this brief session? Today's brief session. Apparently, Shaquem knows what vegan jerk chicken is. I've never seen or experienced that. Yeah, I understand what you're saying, VC realm, that is not real chicken, but I'm just saying that that's why it's a misnomer. Can't be both. Oh yeah, tofu. Let me tell you something. You ain't hear me eat no tofu. That's that. Purely and strictly out. The boy does not eat tofu. When the first time I saw somebody with tofu, they was explaining to me, and I said, what it tastes like? They said, it tastes like whatever you make it with. It's like, all right, yeah, I don't want that. But listen, veganism, dietary law, this is also another one of them things that people have to master. And I'm saying, look at the pandemic, brought it more to light. To see if you didn't show the self-mastery, right, of having a dietary law that's actually good for what you're supposed to be eating food for. Meaning, we eat stuff because it's sweet, because it's, salty, whatever is the taste that you into, right? how many people is eating food based on the actual nutritional value of it to the body? Or, you know, sometimes not even the nutritional value, you know, how many people is looking at, okay, the amount of harm that this is doing to the body? You know, like you eating this pig feet or whatever, I don't know what you eat. So you don't have that degree of self-mastery, that self-discipline, that self-knowledge to know what's good for you, right? And then deal with it. See, a lot of people know what's good for them. They don't ever fuck with that ever. You understand what I'm saying? It's dudes that know exactly what's good for them and what's bad for them. You know you ain't supposed to be eating them pork rinds. Blood pressure sky high. So it's another degree of mastery. See, that's what I'm saying. Everything that we doing, it's not just that we doing it, it's how we doing it. See, sometimes it's more than one thing. So that's why it's tell us what and how the devil is made. So whether it's how we eat, you know, whether it's the clothes we wear, you know what I'm saying? You know, if it's the places that we travel and the places that we don't travel, the people that we speak to and what we say to them. All these are things that we have to master. See, almost everything we do, Supreme Man is not in the room right now. But one thing he likes to say, I'm gonna borrow one of his jewels. I'm borrowing his jewels right now because I do that. Uh, you know, one thing Supreme Man always says is that every skill is a learned skill. You know what I'm saying? And he likes to use the example of, you know, even being hard, right? You know, dudes that's gangster hard, whatever, you know, that's an acquired skill. If you go to LA, Chicago, find all the hardest gangbangers. And they'll tell you who the person was that showed them how to be gangster. At least when I hear them talking, you know, they'll tell you about the time when they got picked on, and then that's when the brothers told them, all right, look, you need to be gangster. This is how you do it. You know what I'm saying? That you have to, you know, fear is a big thing that everybody has to master. It's not that it don't exist, it's that we master it, guy. And so in the example that Supreme Man uses, you know, is that, you know, I listen, you know, the first time or whatever, you know what I'm saying, you get into a fight, you know, you apprehensive. But then, you know, once it's over, you like, you know, I wasn't so bad, you know what I mean? I could rock with it. Next thing you know, you walk in the lunchroom just munching cats, dude. What you looking at? Now that's of course when you've taken your mastery, right? And you because everything can be positive or negative. You got knowledge, you got trick knowledge. You got peace, you got confusion. That's just the world. So you took your mastery of something and applied it negatively once you came in there mushing people in the head. See, because you didn't master yourself morally and principally yet. You haven't mastered how to be in a group of men for one common cause. So we hold on, checking this. I ain't even see if anybody came in. Nobody come in. Put the link up here one more time. Again, ask if we have any questions about any of the things we've been building on today. So, you know, y'all gonna make me not mind to give myself a new name. I had to give myself a new name. To give myself a name that you know, it denotes. I'm gonna have to give myself a name that denotes how crystal clear and precise my wisdom is. And so there's never any questions after I build. The picture is high definition. See reality in high definition. Okay, so somebody stop me. Somebody stop me here before my ego gets any more inflated. Next thing you know, I'm gonna be walking around calling myself the master. Y'all wouldn't want that. What's my screen keep going off here? No one. Yeah, I like that. I like that 7-9-30. See, my wisdom is alkaline. I like that. I think we're gonna have a whole show where we alkaline wisdom. Did we get any updates though on what's going on out there in Minnesota? Oh yeah, I forgot to say I told y'all so too. Because I was talking to Atif earlier today, and all right, yeah, okay, I get it. And he was saying that some people apparently from outside Minnesota have begun to show up in Minnesota at the protests. And I was doing a lot of ranting yesterday. We went a little bit long, but does anybody recall when I said that, listen, beware of the people that's about to start showing up to seize this energy, right? And redirect it for their cause. And by their, I mean, not the cause of freedom, justice, and equality for all original people in the upliftment of the Black family as the basic building block of any successful society we're going to have. Shaquem said, I got a question about an old event that took place at a rally back in days. I mean, if I was there, probably, I mean, what was the question? Yeah, I got a couple semesters in. I might have been there when that happened. Yeah, that's what I was just looking for, man. The good brother Divine. Let me look for him again. That's maybe I put the wrong name. I don't understand. I can't find either one of them in my Instagram. We had to catch up with a rebound now because we're about to wind this down. Knowledge Law 120 said the groups that's coming are coming from other places other than Minnesota borderline towns. Yeah, when I was with IT, people were saying that some people were saying they was coming from Oregon, and that whole PNW, the Pacific Northwest, region that's big for Antifa and those groups. So what was the science when the Bloods came to the rally? Okay, I was there that day. Um, let me see. Let's. How do we put this without throwing nobody under the bus? Basically, with almost everything that happened in New York City, right? If it happened, and when I say everything, I'm talking about street stuff. If it happened between about 1975 and 1995, the 5% was involved. More often than not, towards the top of it. You know what I'm saying? If not the ringleaders. You know what I'm saying? And the 80s was a rough time in the knowledge in terms of we frontline warriors. You know what I'm saying? In terms of this freedom, justice, and equality. Like we the people that when they introduce this program, like we're going to introduce crack into the community. The 5%, we was the people on the streets. And so we being affected by it in all these different ways. You know what I'm saying? Rather, some people is getting caught up in the smoking it, brothers is selling it, you start selling it, you get caught up in that way of life. Now you're not living out your mathematics no more. You know what I'm saying? Brothers is getting locked up, brothers is getting killed. Hold on, I'm coming with you. With the last person already came?
Yeah. You need to your bike.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Get my get my wheels, man.
Oh. So you gonna very soon be school?
Yeah, fuck it. I'll do that. I'll do that. It's all good.
You got to keep your mouth to door, right?
Yeah, that'll be key.
Okay, so you good.
Oh yeah, so get back to what I was saying. What that left, guy, was there was a void, you know what I'm saying, where if you wasn't a gladiator in his knowledge, you know what I'm saying, a lot of other people went the other way. You know what I'm saying? And so whenever the blood thing hit the scene, you know what I'm saying, a couple of the brothers, you know, they was real 5%. You know what I'm saying? But you know, that was something when we was coming up, you know what I'm saying? Well, Shaquem, you from that era, so you know what I'm saying? We was kind of taught to, you know, you got to have one foot in both worlds. You see what I'm saying? Because these are still the people you got to relate to. Like when you're going to go, you know, you're going to go in Flatbush, you're going to go in Crown Heights, you're going to go in Brownsville, you're going to go in the South Bronx. Like you can't just be coming around there with a three-piece suit on. You know what I'm saying? You know, I mean, you can, you know, but, you know, people, this is the streets. You know what I mean? So some of the brothers that, you know, they still was active in having both feet in the mix, right? They had, you know, gotten some leadership positions, right, in that organization. And so what that was, right, was them bringing those bloods to be introduced to the other side now. And the reality is a lot of those bloods, right, was brothers that was born in the nation. And because, like I said, of us being, you know, we some of the you know, they you know, they don't need to break up the problem families. But you know, if you got somebody out there that's teaching about man, woman, and child, these are the people that you after. You know, the people who's, teaching people who they are and teaching people who you are. You know what I'm saying? In terms of the devil. So, you know, that really was the brothers that they came there with. They was bringing them there to kind of slowly introduce them into the knowledge. You know what I'm saying? They was taking the same kind of just dealing with the history of the Cross Park Chaplains and how that was the gang, right? That was introduced to the knowledge, and then they all got the knowledge. You know what I'm saying? Or the Tomahawks, you know, another gang that the leadership got it introduced to the knowledge. You know what I'm saying? And then they came into knowledge. You know what I'm saying? That happened with the Black Spades up in the Bronx. You know what I'm saying? You know, a lot of them, they got introduced to the knowledge, you know what I'm saying? And then they came into that. So it wasn't, you know, what kind of went out over the airwaves is that they rolled on the rally. You know what I'm saying? No, that's not right. You know what I'm saying? They came and you know, in my opinion, and I know this is coming from me, this probably sounds, you know, peace. This might sound a little bit ironic coming from me, but a level of elitism set in. You see what I'm saying? Where sometimes we want to pick and choose other people's negativity. You know what I'm saying? Meaning, you know, like for instance, at that rally, you had dudes that's like, God, I know you got. Like you did time upstate, son, too, for your things that you was doing. And you had the knowledge then. These brothers are 85%. They're allowed to come and learn. You know what I'm saying? But that's what it became like a little back and forth. But nothing, it was just some words, and then it at the end of the day, right, it was an opportunity that we lost because see, that turned a lot of them off. Like they was coming to the rally to get introduced to this thing that they knew their leader dealt with. And then when they came and it was that level of rejection and shit, they never came back. At least not, en masse like that. But we've reached the board hour right now. I'm about to take this one down. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I gotta go hit up my brother. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, some brothers, you met their family before, you know what I mean? And then some people, y'all kick it like peoples, you understand what I mean? This brother's he was like that. So I gotta go do the right thing. You know what I'm saying? So everybody make sure you did the each one, teach one, hit the like button, share this out on your pages, your Twitter, your Instagrams, Facebook groups, text messages, etc. You know what I'm saying? What's this VC round? Born for you, build for me. Yeah, but so yeah, because of that reason, we're gonna take this one down early. Um, of course, all of the new people that came in, uh, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification button so you can know when we come back on. And this week, we're gonna make sure that we get back on here before the weekend. The weekend shows have been going good. I haven't decided on a name totally yet. You know what I'm saying? But we're gonna come back on with some building that we could do. And in the meantime, in between time, I'm going to say peace until tomorrow.